Good evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I'm Colin Abrams for the Monday, March 9 edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, President Ali backs direct action to crush regional drug cartels at Florida summit. Welder arrested following fatal stabbing of common-law wife at Long Creek. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright praises Guyana's stability and governance. 2 missing as molasses barge sinks off Buxton. First Lady Arya Ali issues stirring call to end domestic violence during International Women's Day walk, and 2-year-old drowns in Upper Pomeroon. Now for the news in depth. The era of the Caribbean being a playground for drug cartels must end. That is the message from President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, who says Guyana is ready to join a full-scale international crusade to dismantle transnational criminal networks.
In a hard-hitting interview with Fox News while attending the Shield of the Americas summit in Doral, the Guyanese leader warned that the region's airspace and maritime routes are being exploited as a highway for global crime. He noted that while the problem is a legacy issue, the sophistication of modern narco-trafficking now threatens the very stability of Caribbean societies. President Ali told the network that while the region has long been stained by the narcotics trade, Guyana is now fully backing a shift towards the active, direct dismantling of these syndicates.
About this, and President Trump has taken a direct approach on this issue, and it's an issue that has really hampered our development. It is an issue that has exposed our borders to transnational criminals and criminal network. It's an issue that's exposed the region, has given the region a bad name in terms of drugs.
The president didn't mince words, signaling that Guyana and its regional partners are moving towards a more aggressive stance. He emphasized that the era of simply managing the flow of narcotics is over, voicing total support for a new international coalition aimed at uprooting narco-terrorism at the source.
So we support the strong action on drug cartel. We have supported the charter to deal with transnational crime, especially the narco-terrorism and these cartels. So we have to agree for us that this is a challenge in the region, and we have an approach now that is direct and one that seeks to take the region out of this stain of criminality, cartels, and drugs.
The head of state emphasized that Guyana is working to deepen security cooperation with the United States, positioning itself as a reliable partner in promoting regional stability and supporting joint efforts to dismantle criminal networks operating throughout the Caribbean Basin. The Shield of the Americas summit brought together leaders from across the Caribbean and Latin America in Doral to discuss coordinated action against drug cartels and transnational crime. The forum concluded with a renewed focus on intelligence sharing and joint law enforcement strikes. President Ali framed Guyana as a key strategic partner for the U.S., positioning the country as a central hub for security operations in the Caribbean Basin to ensure the region is no longer a playground for global cartels. Colin Abrams, Guyana TV9 News.
A Guyanese boat captain abducted along the Cuyuni River 6 months ago has been found alive, but is reportedly being held in a Venezuelan prison. Frederick Pollard, 66, was seized on August 24, 2025, along with Venezuelan national Antonio Libroliro Jose by gunmen believed to be linked to the notorious Sindicato gang. The men were later discovered in a prison in Miranda, where authorities are reportedly holding them on terrorism allegations, claims their families strongly deny. Relatives say Pollard was transporting fuel for the Guyana Defense Force when he was intercepted and are demanding his immediate release. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira has emphasized that Guyana's rapid transformation and economic growth are hollow achievements if the nation's democratic institutions are not vigorously protected. More of this Adana Doric report.
Speaking during the Starting Point podcast on Sunday, the minister stressed that national development cannot replace the importance of safeguarding democracy. Teixeira reflected on the lessons learned from the 2020 Guyanese general and regional elections, which were marked by disputes over the vote count and months of political tension. She said the experience reinforced the need for political leaders to remain vigilant in protecting the country's democratic systems. According to the minister, the preservation of the electoral process and democratic values must remain a priority regardless of how much economic progress the country achieves. Tashira also urged individuals interested in political leadership to enter the field with the right intentions, emphasizing that public office carries immense responsibility. She warned that people who pursue politics primarily for personal ambition are in the wrong profession.
Younger politicians say, oh, look, the ministers look nice, they have cars, they have this. I'd like to be a minister too. Well, it's okay to have ambition, but you recognize that that's not all it is. And two, it's a tremendous amount of responsibility and to develop the trust of the population, and the responsibility of, not just seeing yourself, but why you're there is to serve the people, that you must serve the people. If you have ambitions of your own self and where you're going to go and what you're going to buy and what you're going to do, you're in the wrong job. That's my old-fashioned maybe view, but that's what I believe. And that you are there as a politician to serve in the best way. You are the vehicle to serve the people.
Meanwhile, the minister noted that Guyana is currently experiencing a period of rapid transformation with visible improvements in infrastructure across the country. However, she cautioned that development must also be matched by responsible behavior from citizens.
And there's a gap, of course, between infrastructure development, legislative change, and people's behavior. There are gaps between that. So you build new roads and people now say, we can drive fast, because before there were potholes. And so the issue of now behavioral change in terms of recognizing you have to conform to laws of traffic and stuff like that. But, the transformation is unbelievable, and therefore in politics, it will demand politicians who recognize that it's something we learned, and something we learned again in 2020, the elections, is that you can make all the most amazing things, but democracy has to be preserved at all costs.
The minister said national progress depends not only on physical development, but also on a shared commitment to democratic principles and responsible citizenship. Adana Dark, Guyana TV9 News.
A horrific act of domestic violence has shattered a family in Long Creek. On a morning meant to celebrate women globally, a mother of 6 was instead silenced by the man she lived with. 39-year-old Celestine Tony was fatally stabbed on Sunday, leaving her community in shock and 6 children without a mother. Here's more.
A horrific act of domestic violence left a Long Creek family devastated on Sunday morning when 39-year-old Kathleen Tony, a mother of 6, was fatally stabbed by her reputed husband, Morris Q, 65, at their home along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway. According to family members, Tony and Hugh, a welder, had a history of daily domestic disputes. Her sister told police that after hearing shouting early Sunday, she rushed to check on her sibling and found her lifeless on the ground near their home. Neighbors also alerted authorities after hearing commotion at the residence. Police say the couple, which were involved in a common law relationship, had a disagreement on Sunday, during which the suspect armed himself with a sharp object and inflicted injuries upon the victim. The injured woman was escorted to the Linden Hospital complex, where she received medical attention. She was subsequently transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where she succumbed to her injuries. Police later located Hugh in nearby backlands, still armed with the knife, and reportedly attempted to harm himself. Officers intervened and prevented further injury, taking him to a hospital under guard, where he remains in care. Investigators recovered the weapon and noted multiple stab wounds to Tony's body. Family members, including Tony's sister, have called for justice and support for the 6 children left behind, highlighting the devastating impact of domestic violence in the community. Authorities are urging anyone with additional information to come forward as they continue to piece together the events that led to this tragic incident. The tragic killing of Tony occurred on International Women's Day, and they meant to celebrate and honor women worldwide, casting a stark and heartbreaking shadow over the observance. The incident also reignited calls for community leaders and activists for stronger domestic violence monitoring, better support systems for victims, and more proactive measures to prevent such tragedies. First Lady Arya Ali on Sunday called for stronger action against domestic violence as Guyana joined the global community in observing International Women's Day, reminding the nation of the women and girls whose lives were cut short by violence. Speaking during the International Women's Day walk hosted by the Office of the First Lady on Sunday morning at the Kingston Esplanade, the First Lady reflected on the devastating impact of domestic violence and interpartner violence. She highlighted victims were mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends whose deaths left the nation grieving. Calvin Abrams, TV9 News.
Police in Region 2 are investigating the tragic death of 2-year-old Samira Evans, who reportedly drowned at Kabakaburi Mission on Saturday. The toddler was last seen at her home with her mother at around 12:30 hours. After a frantic 5-hour search by relatives and residents, her body was discovered floating in the Palm River near Warapana, approximately 1 mile from her home. She was rushed to the Oscar Joseph Public Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Investigations are ongoing pending a post-mortem examination. We'll be back after these short messages. Stay with us.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana, Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. A major search and rescue operation is currently underway in the Atlantic Ocean following the sinking of a tanker barge, Trader 3, early Monday morning. 2 sailors, Videsh John and Gregory Singh, went missing when the barge en route to Georgetown from Berbice sank in the Atlantic Ocean. The Maritime Administration Department, MARAD, reported receiving a distress signal at approximately 1 hour on March 9, 2026. The vessel was located roughly 9.5 nautical miles off the coast of Buxton on the east coast of Demerara when it began to go down. First Lady Arya Ali honored victims of the violence during an International Women's Day walk at the Kingston Seawall Esplanade, calling for stronger action against domestic violence. She highlighted government's initiatives supporting women, including scholarships, and through her office, the distribution of sanitary pads to over 3,000 schoolgirls. More in this Dorek report.
Standing along the breezy Kingston Seawall Esplanade for an early morning awareness walk, First Lady Arya Ali delivered poignant reminder to the nation. Behind every domestic violence statistics is a life lost and a family shattered forever. The event, organized by the Office of the First Lady, brought together activists and grieving families to honor the memories of women and girls taken by violence. With visible emotions, Mrs. Ali urged the public to see victims not as mere data points, but as the mothers, daughters, and sisters whose absence leaves permanent scars on Guyanese communities.
Intimate partner violence, for instance, continues to rob families of mothers, daughters, and sisters, leaving grief that reverberates across our communities and our nation. The number of killings which result from domestic violence or intimate partner violence is a stark reminder of the hard work which lies ahead. That is why, as a government, we have taken meaningful institutional steps over the last 5 years to protect women in vulnerable situations and hold perpetrators accountable through legislative and policy reforms such as the enactment of the Family Violence Act of 2024.
While acknowledging Guyana's stride towards gender parity, the First Lady warned that the road ahead remains long. She pointed to World Economic Forum data suggesting that true global equality could still be generations away. A sobering reality she insists must be met with urgent localized action. Beyond advocacy, Mrs. Ali highlighted tangible pillars of support established through her office. These include the distribution of free sanitary products to over 3,000 schoolgirls, scholarships for 200 women, half of whom hail from hinterland communities, and critical housing assistance for single mothers.
For the past few years, we have supported the advancement and empowerment of women and girls in a meaningful way. To date, we have supported more than 3,000 schoolgirls with the provision of free sanitary pads and provided more than 200 women with scholarships, 100 of whom are from the hinterland regions. Additionally, we have invested millions in women-led startups and have constructed homes for 3 women-led single-parent households. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's ongoing We Lift Expo is another shining example of how women-led enterprises, more than 460 of them, are being supported through government's initiatives.
As the walk concluded, the message remained clear. The fight for inclusion and safety is far from over. Participants left the seawall with a renewed vow to ensure the voices of victims are never silenced by time. This year's observance also marked more than a century of the global movement for women's rights, 115 years of advocacy for inclusion, equal opportunity, and the fight to eliminate discrimination against women. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News.
Udana, Guyana is positioning itself to become the energy hub of the Caribbean, with President Irfan Ali and U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright discussing new plans for liquefied natural gas (LNG) infrastructure that could power the entire region.
The United States is eyeing Guyana as a cornerstone of its strategy to expand energy production across the Western Hemisphere. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says Guyana's stability and governance makes it a critical partner in strengthening regional resource development. Following high-level talks with President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, Secretary Wright emphasized that the U.S. administration aims to grow energy output while deepening ties with well-governed allies.
Guyana is a huge part of this strategy. A very well-governed country with great energy resources that's starting to produce them and grow that larger and larger. That's a win for Guyana. That's a win for the United States. It's a win for the Western Hemisphere.
President Ali reiterated that regional energy security is a top priority for his administration. The discussion focused on positioning Guyana as a regional hub, utilizing both petroleum and natural gas to bolster stability. Specifically, the president highlighted plans for liquefied natural gas (LNG) infrastructure designed to accommodate gas from across the region.
As you know, Guyana has tremendous opportunities ahead of us in which we could utilize energy to add value in our natural resources, whether it's bauxite, building out our capacity and capability for fertilizer to support the rest of the region, data centers, and other investments in manufacturing, industrial development, LNG plants, and to be that first mover in terms of the infrastructure that will be able to accommodate gas from other partners within the region.
Discussions also addressed strengthening state-to-state cooperation and encouraging greater investment by American companies in Guyana's growing energy sector, as both countries examine future pillars for cooperation in the industry. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali spent the weekend in the United States meeting with senior officials to discuss energy, investment, and regional security cooperation. During his visit, he held discussions with U.S. government representatives, including the Secretary of Energy, to explore ways Guyana can play a larger role in regional energy development and attract increased investment in key sectors of the economy. Colin Abrams, Guyana TV9 News.
The curtains came down on the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's flagship We Lift Expo 2026 on Sunday night, ending 3 days of inspiration, innovation, and opportunity with major announcements set to transform the future of women-owned businesses across Guyana.
Held at the iconic Arthur Chong Conference Center, the highly anticipated event opened last Friday under the empowering theme Let Her Bloom. For 3 vibrant days, the venue buzzed with energy as more than 400 women-owned businesses showcased an impressive range of locally made products and services, highlighting the creativity and resilience of Guyanese women entrepreneurs. The closing night was marked by a series of impactful presentations and initiatives designed to give these entrepreneurs a stronger foothold in the marketplace. A major highlight was the distribution of starter kits to several women who excelled in their respective courses under the Women's Innovation and Investment Network (WIN) training program. The kits are expected to provide practical tools and resources to help participants expand their businesses and take their entrepreneurial journeys to the next level. Adding a powerful digital dimension to the initiative, Vindhya Prasad, Minister of Human Services and Social Security, unveiled a new partnership with FlowPay. The collaboration will enable women entrepreneurs to conduct business more efficiently and receive electronic payments, a move that is expected to significantly modernize how small businesses operate. Here's what some of the business owners had to say at the expo. Insert.
I am Crystal, the co-owner of Paintings and Craft Co. This is our second year at We Live, and this has been an amazing experience for us. It's great for small businesses. It exposes us to a wide market and helps us to grow our business. It's really great. I am very thankful for the minister for the opportunity she has given our business, and we look forward to coming again next year. We live 6, she lifts us. Hey everyone, I'm Odella from OJ Skin, and we're here at We Live 6. I just want to say thanks to the minister and the team of the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. This is my 5th year at We Live, and I have to say that the place is beautiful. The work and the effort that you guys put into making the place as aesthetically pleasing as possible. We appreciate it, we love it, and we're grateful for all that you've done for us and for the event. Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you to the team. We Live 6, she lifts us.
Good evening. We're here at We Live 6. This is Keisha Scrap Shack. This is my first year here at We Live 6, and I'm very, very happy to be here. This is an amazing opportunity to get your business out there as women-owned businesses. Minister Vidya Prasad is an amazing minister. She has given us so much. We didn't have to spend a cent to be here, apart from just providing whatever products we have here to sell. It's just an amazing opportunity for the women to come out at We Live 6 while she lifts us.
Hi, my name is Avishi Sakan. I'm 20 years old and I'm the owner of Sugarful. So I'm here today at We Live 6 showcasing this masterpiece which I brought from Barbies. It's a 4-layer cake with sponge cake and vanilla buttercream. Now, my experience at We Live has been amazing. The marketing was crazy and I appreciate everything. I would like to thank the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security for this wonderful opportunity.
We Live Expo 2026 not only celebrated women in business, it delivered real tools, partnership, and opportunities that provide to elevate hundreds of entrepreneurs across Guyana. Adana Dark, Guyana TV9 News.
We turn our attention now to news out of the region. An earthquake was felt across sections of Jamaica on Monday morning. According to the earthquake unit, of the University of the West Indies, the 3.9 magnitude quake was felt at about 6:50 a.m. The epicenter was located approximately 7 kilometers north of Bull Bay. The United Nations is negotiating with the Trump administration to ease an oil blockade on Cuba, citing that fuel shortages have compromised humanitarian operations and paralyzed aid delivery to vulnerable groups. Following the imposition of the energy blockade in January, the resulting 2-month fuel drought has crippled Cuba's economy, prompting Havana to accuse Washington of attempting to strangle the nation. Internationally, on Sunday afternoon, a woman identified as Ivana Lisette Ortez allegedly fired multiple rounds from an AR-15 style rifle at Rihanna's Beverly Hills mansion. Rihanna, ASAP Rocky, and their children were reportedly inside the residence during the attack, but no injuries occurred, despite bullets striking the property's exterior gate and walls. The suspect was apprehended shortly after at Sherman Oaks following police helicopter pursuit and is now being held at $10.2 million bail. While the weapon and casing were recovered, authorities are still investigating the motive to determine if the singer was specifically targeted in the shooting. Those are our major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow us at our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GOYTV9. I'm Colin Abrams. Thanks for watching.